Session 10, 30th October 2022. Session 10, 30th October 2022. The Exegesis of Quran. Quran summarized by ex-brigadier Mustansar Billah. As stated earlier, we are on the third verse of Surah Fatiha. Third verse of Surah Fatiha, that is Maliki Yawmuddin. Only Allah Rabb, the inexorably beneficent, the tremendously merciful, is the master of the day of equitable, that is absolutely just retribution and reward based on every individual's performance as demanded by Quran and Sunnah. So we are on Surah Al-Tariq, that is the 86th surah of Quran, and we start from verse 10. The 86th surah of Quran, At-Tariq. فَمَا لَهُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ فَمَا لَهُ مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَلَا نَاصِرٍ 86 verse 10. That day there'll be no deliverance for the disbelievers from punishment. He'll neither have any power whatsoever to save himself from the grave misery, nor anyone who could help rescue him. All delusive beliefs of demigods, associates interceding to take the people to the heaven, are imprudent, ill-conceived, shirk, polytheism, pantheism. Man should breed no doubts or dissensions. Quran is definitely, absolutely straight, lucid, and unambiguous in demarcating, distinguishing the good from evil. It draws permanent frontiers between the truth and falsehood. It isn't a book of physics or medicine, nor a book of baptism and rituals. It transcends, encompasses the entire human conduct, all laws, all regulations, all customs, tastes, morals, and intellectual endeavors, like the sky pervading over the entire creation, pouring the rain of truth. It's not a book to be treated as a comic, taken lightly, or disregarded. It's not a matter of amusement. Rather than believing the double-dyed evil rogues, the double-faced disbelievers, are crystallizing diabolical, satanic plans, machinations, and maneuvering with ulterior designs. And they have various strategies: political, economic, military, and media, etc., to dominate the believers whom they take a threat to their own systems and society. Allah has a scheme as well, an eternal design, wherein the disbelievers are given time to reform, rescind, or to overstretch. In the second eventuality, they are heavily punished when they overstretch. with the heavily punished with little mercy. The apparent delay in their punishment mystifies, confuses the simpletons, the naive, who fail to perceive that it's not a chaotic world unless the depraved, arrogant, the rapscallions are given enough time and opportunity to repent, resigned, to reform. They could demur, object on the day of judgment, that had they been given a little more time, they would have definitely reformed to adopt a pious demeanor. The justification for such a severe punishment of the fiery hell would have been much reduced. Having been given enough time and latitude, it is circumstantially proved with great exactitude that they really deserve the horrendous punishment Allah has crystallized for them during this extended period. Concomitantly, simultaneously, those who claimed to have surrendered to the will of Allah have also to be grinded in this world to test, verify, confirm the veracity, truthfulness of their commitment, their verbal utterance of their faith to make things lucid, absolutely clear to all, before granting them the great, eternal, glorious heaven promised by Allah. This period of latitude to the disbelievers also serves to test the believers in the ordinary way. So the believers, pertinacious, determined in their purpose, are directed by Allah to hold on, fight it out, be patient, remain placid, calm, and persevere to deserve the pleasure of Allah. That was verse 10. Now Surah Al-Ghashiyah, 88th Surah, verse 1. Hal ataka hadithul Ghashiyah. All the prophets, Abraham, Musa, Moses, and Jesus, Isa, had the same message. So haven't you got the news of the one, the disaster that will prevail at the zero hour and devastate the entire universe? That is the doomsday. That was translation of Al-Ghashiyah, 80th Surah, verse 1. We continue with Surah Al-Ghashiyah, verses 88 to Wujuhum Yawma Izin Khashiyah. Translation: a lot many faces of the disbelievers would be humiliated, disgraced that day. They didn't pay obeisance, respect to Allah with a demeanor of humiliation and humbleness here. They didn't pay obeisance, respect to Allah with a demeanor of humiliation and humbleness here. They'll be humbled, disgraced on the day of justice. They'll be humbled, disgraced on the day of justice. Al Ghashiyah, verse 3. Amalatun Nasiba. There'll be people with faces exhausted, bloodless, pale, laboring, and tired. That is translation. Elaboration. Because of constant efforts, worship, abstinence, and hardship, but not come ill fought as it should be, purely and squarely for the pleasure of the one and the only Allah, purely and squarely for the pleasure of the one and the only Allah. Rather, they conjoined associates, demigods, in their worship. A great tragedy that all their apparently pious deeds and rituals were actually endemic, diseased, and would be thrown back on their faces. There's no elaboration of this verse, 88:3. There's no historical evidence whatsoever when that is Surah Al Ghashiyah. There is no historical evidence whatsoever wherein any single prophet might have preached anything but monotheism. Not a single one ever compromised even a shade on it. None ever desisted from detesting, condemning, cursing, denouncing blatantly, unequivocally, and eloquently the enjoining of associates with Allah, that is shirk, pantheism, polytheism. Yet many have gone astray. Yet many people have gone astray, misguided by the mauled, distorted, and mangled version of certain scriptures prior to Quran. Though there wasn't a prophet who didn't condemn creating intermediary gods, demigods from prophets, saints, peace, etc. Yet some people appeal to them, and yet some people appeal to them. All the prophets condemned and warned of dire eternal punishment for those who create associates, demigods, intermediary gods, that is, sons of God, saints, peers, idols, graves, etc. Yet there are people pathetically misguided. Yet there are people pathetically misguided. These people appeal, pray to them, make novenas, and worship them, and labor and go through hardships of self denial, unnatural abstinence, unnatural abstinence to please them, the false demigods, peers, etc. They believe these demigods would take them close to Rabb and also intercede in their favor on the day of justice to take them straight to heaven without having to suffer the consequences of their deeds, however heinous and horrendous. Such are the ones up the spout, in a hopeless condition, lived in a terrible mix up, worshipping the wrong God, ruined, defeated, in a total loss, not a glimmer of hope, not a glimmer of hope, to be punished in the blazing volcanic furnace of hell. These people, had they ever considered, analyzed, and pondered over the original teachings of the prophets, they so venerated Ibrahim, Musa, Moses, and Prophet Jesus Isa, they'd have seen they were laboring only for the hell. They'd have applied immediate mid-course correction and hit the straight, refulgent track of the one and only Allah. Ghashiyah 88 verse 4, Tasalla Naran Hamia. Translation, they'll fall, be dragged, taken into, and roasted in the blazing fire, the volcanic furnace of hell. Al-Ghashiyah 88 verse 5, Tuska min aynin aniya. And when the extreme heat and fire makes them miserably, intensely thirsty, they'll be made to drink water from a spring boiling to the highest degree. From a spring boiling to the highest degree. Al-Ghashiyah 88 verse 6. لَيْسَ لَهُمْ طَعَامٌ إِلَّا مِنْ ذَرِيعٍ. Translation, when hungry, they'll have no other food but extremely poisonous, bitter, and stinking thorny bushes. 88.7 La yasminu wala yughni min ju'. They would neither be nourishing nor of any use in hunger. That would neither be nourishing nor of any use in hunger. 88 verse 8 Wajuhum yawmazin naima. And as opposed to these people, other faces that day are fresh, glowing, radiating, gleaming with excitement, anticipation of the heaven. 88.9 Lesaiha Razia. They'll be happy, endued with reward for their diligent, pious deeds, their labor, abstinence, worship, hardships for the pleasure of Allah alone. All these will be accepted if done for the pleasure of Allah alone. Fi Jannatin Aliyah, Ghashiyah, verse 10. And they'll be enwrapped, delighted, overjoyed in salubrious, healthy, high, awe-inspiring, and wonderful, exquisite gardens of heaven. There'll be no double dealing, no double entendre, having indecent meaning as well, no double Dutch, incomprehensible talk, no double talk, bluff, and no double think, contrary ideas. The people in heaven shall be at perfect peace, demonstratively loving, and speak straight with perfect manners. Their conversations, all wisdom. Their conversations, all wisdom. They'll never have to hear anything rude. They'll never have to hear anything rude, impolite, indecent, or hurting. Ghashiyah, verse 11. La tasma fiha laghiya. People in heaven would always be addressed respectfully, hear wisdom and endearments, expressions of love only. Never hear therein any loose dog. La tasmu fiha lagia. Never hear therein any loose dog, anything rude, impolite, indecent, or hurting. Fiha ayunun jariya, verse 12, and in it the glorious gardens is abounding, gushing, springs. There are different springs sprouting milk, honey, wine, and water. Fresh fruit juices would be available directly from the fruit trees. Drinks of unimaginable varieties, taste, and effervescence, bubbling gas would be instantly available at all times. Drinks of unimaginable varieties, taste, and effervescence, bubbling gas would be instantly available at all times. That's all for today. Please pray for me. Shall continue, Allah be willing, inshallah, tomorrow. Ex Brigadier Mustansir Billah.